News, the United Nations Children's Fund says it's working closely with government to increase the number of children's enrollment to schools. This move is aimed at reducing the number of out-of-school children, which currently stands at about 1.6 million in northeast Nigeria. Jesse Tafida reports.
The alarming number of out-of-school children in the northeastern states of Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi and Gombe states is of concern to government and humanitarian partners. It is why UNICEF and governments of these affected areas organized this seminar. The meeting is to chart a way forward on how best to scale up evidence-informed interventions on foundational literacy and numeracy.
Is really to showcase what has worked in making sure that children are learning and the different types of methodologies, different type of programs that has earned us the ability to teach children to learn better. And so there are different programs that are being piloted and have at this point have proven to be successful. Our pilots and some of that scale up to dates of the different programs have already benefited at least 500,000 children.
Stakeholders at this meeting tend to give special consideration of the ongoing humanitarian development nexus in the region. It will also serve as an avenue to share experiences on how far educational interventions assisted the region.
We found these models to be highly effective, across various LGAs in the Bay States. And so we are bringing this evidence to the table because ultimately we want to scale this up in the northeast of Nigeria. So we've got to make sure that we have the right infrastructure in place to kind of decrease those class sizes. But more than that, we need qualified teachers. So teachers who have the capacity to teach well.
This seminar is expected to convene educationists, government officials, and civil society organizations diverse ways to foster teaching and learning in their domains. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
For more on the rising numbers of out-of-school children in the northeast, let's speak with UNICEF Chief Field Officer in Maiduguri, Fungunye. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. So UNICEF's collaboration with government in this regard has been on for a while. How much progress would you say we are making? And would you say that we're meeting the set targets as well?
Thank you very much for having me. And indeed, we have made tremendous progress since 2018, where we piloted a number of strong initiatives, such as Right to Learn and Kanuri arithmetic and reading interventions. Some of these programs have proven incredibly effective in teaching children foundational literacy and numeracy skills. And we are now experiencing really very strong success. So for example, we have Fatima, a 10-year-old from a primary school who had to stay back and could not get promoted. Since we started a program in her school that teach children foundational literacy and numeracy skills, she and 9 other children were able to be promoted this year moving forward. So we have the right tools, we know the right programs, and we have qualified teachers. We also had trained over 1,200 teachers last year. So we're qualifying teachers. We have programs in place, and now is the time for us to scale this. And we do this together with the government of Borno, of Yobe, of Adamawa, and of course, with the support of our development partners and local communities as well as NGOs.
In all your years of advocacy in this regard, Ms. Fern, what have you identified as the biggest challenge, to getting back our children to school, and what do you think stakeholders must begin to do differently?
Yes, poverty is really the underlying problem, and of course, compounded by the protracted conflict and displacement. So this is, and then on top of that, also lack of economic opportunities. All of these are drivers to keeping children out of school, and even for those who are in school, to pull them out of school. And so what we need is good quality education to keep these children to school, to attract them to school, and to allow the parents and caregivers, giving them the opportunity to remain in school. We have a problem right now. It is a learning crisis whereby 3 out of 4 children are unable to read a basic sentence even after 6 years of education. So we have the programs in place and we know that it works. Now is the time to really invest. UNICEF will not leave these children behind, and we work very closely with the government to make sure that the investments are put in place, and we work with our development partners on the same. So we have those magic bullets that we know have proven to work. Now we just need to really scale it up because 1.6 million children out of school is not a good number.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and we have to bring that number down, hopefully in a very short period of time. Fungun Yes, UNICEF Chief Field Officer in Maiduguri, thank you for all the work you're doing.
Thank you very much.